You think you know what strength is. You think gravity is the big boss of the universe. Look at you. You are sitting there, stuck to your chair, pulled down by the entire mass of the earth. 6 septillion kilograms of rock and iron are pulling on you right now. And yet, look at this. I can lift this pen. Just like that, my tiny little arm, a few ounces of muscle, just defeated the gravitational pull of the entire planet. Think about how ridiculous that is. The whole earth is pulling down, and I am pulling up, and I win effortlessly. So, I have news for you. Your intuition about the universe is not just wrong, it is embarrassingly wrong. You are living in a biological hallucination, where you think gravity is strong. But I am here to tell you that gravity is weak. It is pathetic. It is the feeblest, most negligible force in the cosmos. It is a ghost. The real monster, the force that actually runs the show, is hidden in plain sight. It is the electromagnetic force. And today, we are going to strip away the illusion. We are going to do a dangerous experiment in your head. We are going to see what happens when we unleash the monster. Let's deconstruct this idea of heavy. You say a mountain is heavy. You say the ocean is heavy. But what does that mean? It means the earth is pulling on it. But why is the earth pulling? Because of mass. Newton told us that mass attracts mass. Fine. But have you ever asked yourself why you don't fall through the floor? If gravity is pulling you down, why do you stop? The floor is solid, you say. That's not an answer. That's a word. What does solid mean? If we look at the atoms in the floor, they are mostly empty space. If the nucleus of an atom were a marble in the middle of a football stadium, the electrons would be tiny gnats buzzing in the highest bleachers. The rest is nothing, empty vacuum. So why don't you fall through the empty space? Because of the electric force. The electrons in the soles of your shoes are pushing against the electrons in the floor. Like charges repel. That push, that electrical repulsion, is what holds you up. And that push is so incredibly strong that it completely cancels out the gravity of the entire earth without even breaking a sweat. The floor isn't solid. The floor is a field of force. You are floating on a raft of electric fields. Now, I want you to perform a micro-experiment. I want you to close your eyes. Go on, do it. Now, imagine you are holding 2 magnets. You know the feeling when you try to push the 2 north poles together. That's squishy, invisible resistance. That's springiness. That is the electromagnetic force. You can feel it. It's tactile. Now, try to feel gravity. Can you feel the earth pulling your individual atoms? Number? You just feel the pressure on your feet. That pressure is the electromagnetic force resisting gravity. You have never felt gravity in your life. You have only felt the electromagnetic resistance to it. Your entire sensory reality is a lie. You are an electrical machine living in an electrical world, fooled into thinking weight is real. We need to shift your paradigm. We need to stop thinking about stuff and start thinking about charge. In physics, we have a way of measuring how strong forces are. We compare them. If we take 2 protons and put them near each other, gravity pulls them together, and the electric force pushes them apart. Who wins? The electric force is stronger, but not just a little bit stronger. It is 10 circumflex, 36 times stronger. Do you know what that number looks like? That is a 1 followed by 36 zeros. It is a billion, 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 billion times stronger. If gravity were a gentle breeze, electromagnetism wouldn't be a hurricane. It wouldn't be a nuclear explosion. It would be a supernova blast that vaporizes the entire galaxy. That is the scale we are talking about. Gravity is a whisper. Electromagnetism is a scream that shatters the universe. So why don't you explode? Why doesn't the earth blow apart? This is the container fallacy. You think of yourself as a container of stuff, but you are actually a soup of positive and negative charges. And nature, in her infinite wisdom, has mixed them perfectly For every proton, there is an electron. +1, -1, 0. The net result is neutrality. You are a sleeping dragon. The monster is there, inside you, right now. But it is asleep because the charges are balanced. But what if we woke the dragon? Let's do the visualization. This is the core of our thought experiment. I want you to imagine I am standing right there in front of you. I am standing exactly 1 arm's length away, about 1 meter. Now, look at me. Look at my body. I am made of atoms. You are made of atoms. We are both electrically neutral, but let's play a game. Let's say we have a magic dial, and I am going to turn this dial just a tiny bit. I am going to disturb the balance. I'm going to change the proportion of electrons in our bodies. Not by much. I'm not going to double them. I'm not going to increase them by 50%. I am going to make us both 1% negatively charged. That means for every 100 protons in your body, you now have 101 electrons. Just a 1% difference, a tiny accounting error. What happens? Suddenly, we are both negatively charged, like charges repel. So, there is a repulsive force pushing us apart. You might think, okay, maybe it pushes us back a bit. Maybe it feels like a strong wind. Number, you are wrong. Imagine the scene. We are standing there. Suddenly, we start to glow. That's the air ionizing around us because the charge is so high. But forget the glow. Focus on the force. That repulsive force between you and me, standing just 1 arm's length apart, is trying to push us away from each other. How strong is it? Is it strong enough to lift a car? Yes. Is it strong enough to lift a tank? Don't make me laugh. Is it strong enough to lift the Empire State Building? That's nothing. That's a feather. Is it strong enough to lift Mount Everest? We are just getting started. I want you to visualize this. Look up. Look above my head. Look above your head. That force, that invisible push, created by just 1% of our electrons, is enough to lift a weight equal to the entire Earth. I am not speaking metaphorically. I mean the actual planet. Picture it, the blue marble, the oceans, the continents, the iron core, the crust, the atmosphere, all of it. 6 times 10 circumflex, 24 kilograms. Imagine we are the base of a pillar, and resting on top of that repulsive force is the Earth itself. We are holding it up, just you and me, standing 1 meter apart. The repulsion is so violent, so absolute, that it could juggle planets. If we didn't have the Earth on top of us to weigh us down, that force would accelerate us apart so fast that we would reach a significant fraction of the speed of light instantly. We would be vaporized. The energy release would make a hydrogen bomb look like a wet match. All of that power is hidden inside you right now, in every cell of your body. This brings us to a terrifying realization. We live on a knife's edge. If the universe were slightly less perfect, if the electron charge didn't exactly cancel the proton charge to 20 decimal places, we wouldn't be here. The universe would have blown itself apart in the first nanosecond. Gravity is only allowed to exist. It is only allowed to be noticed because the electric force has canceled itself out so perfectly. Gravity is the leftovers. It's the faint residue that remains when the titans have fought to a draw. Think about the entropy of this. Think about the statistical miracle. You are a bag of chaotic particles, yet you stay together. You don't explode. You don't collapse. You walk. You talk. You drink coffee. Why? Because of the translation scheme of physics. The universe translates this raw, terrifying power into a stable, neutral reality. The violence of the electromagnetic force is locked in a cage of symmetry. We are walking on top of a dormant volcano. Every time you shake someone's hand, you are bringing 2 objects together that contain enough potential repulsive energy to destroy the solar system. But you just feel a warm, chaotic touch. That is the beauty of physics. It's not just about what happens. It's about what doesn't happen. It's about the silence. The silence of the electric force is the only reason the whisper of gravity can be heard. So, next time you struggle to lift a heavy box, don't blame gravity. Gravity is weak. Blame the electric force for being so perfectly balanced that it lets gravity pretend to be strong. You are not a solid object. You are a masterpiece of dynamic tension. You are a 1% disaster waiting to happen, held together by the most precise accounting system in existence. And that, my friends, is why physics is fun. Because the most boring thing in the world, standing still, is actually the most dramatic balancing act in the universe.